Gore Halfhorn is an infamous beastman bounty hunter who hunts the underhives of Necromunda's hive Primus, the capital of that violent hive world. Gore Halfhorn is a beastman, a mutant of the strain Homo sapiens variatus, and as such is possessed of horribly animalistic features and an unpredictable and violent temperament. These characteristics serve to make Gore a figure of dread in the Underhive, but equally, they make him a target for every raving zealot he encounters. As a sanctioned bounty hunter, Gore is entitled, in theory at least, to go wherever he will in pursuit of his targets. In reality, he's often found himself the quarry. Though so far, none have bested him. Because it is so rare for a beastman to be sanctioned as a bounty hunter on Necromunda, Gore has become the subject of numerous legends throughout the Underhive of Hive Primus. Some say he was once a member of the Abhuman Militarum Auxilla, unit attached to an Astra Militarum regiment, and the sole survivor of a battle of apocalyptic proportions. Others whisper that he was once in the employ of an inquisitor, whose service he fled for a life among the damned. Some have even claimed that he was not born an abhuman at all, but a noble scion who developed hideous mutations in his adolescence and fled Down-Hive, lest he be put to death by his own kin. None dares to inquire of Gore himself what the truth might be, for all know his response would be swift and lethal. Howdy folks, and welcome back to Wellywood Wargaming. My name is Damon, and this is the series where I'll be giving you every single Dramatis Personae and hired gun in the game of Necromunda to date. This one's a particularly good one, unlike the last video I did on Gaian the Gunk Queen Gorvos. This one I'm feeling a lot more positive about, mainly because the miniature's so fucking cool, and the lore's also awesome as well. A little bit of a backstory on Gore Halfhorn though, quickly before we get into it, before we look at the model and the stats and stuff. Back in the day, there used to be a 40k sort of Astra Militarum beastman who had a very similar aesthetic, also had a plasma pistol and a chainsword, a metal figure that I had back in the 80s or 90s, and it was just one of the coolest miniatures ever, and they've done that here, they've recreated that miniature, and I must say, Gore Halfhorn's miniature from Forge World is just fantastic. He's just an awesome character all round. I love this guy to bits. So let's just have a look at the miniature quickly. The miniature came out as sort of one of the early releases from Forge World for the Necromunda stuff, and I've got to say, it still hasn't really been beaten. I think it's one of the better ones. We've got a beastman with a cigar sticking out of his mouth. What's cooler than that? A chainsword in the offhand, a pistol on the front there, a shotgun backpack on the back, standing on a pipe with a skull. I mean, we always need skulls. Really, really cool miniature. I've got this myself, but I have actually converted it. Not too much, but I've stuck a Goliath brute cleaver in the front arm, because honestly, the thing that I don't like the most about this model is that plasma pistol just looks really derpy and awkward. It doesn't look like a typical plasma pistol. It's just a bit ugly to me. So I got rid of that. Used him as my Goliath leader in my Beastman Goliath gang a while ago, but I still use the miniature as proxy for him in games as well. But you can get this guy from Forge World, and I strongly recommend doing so if you haven't got it already. It's just such an awesome model. Really a joy to paint as well with all those details, pouches and cool things anyway. Very, very cool miniature. Anyway, moving on to the actual, how he is in the game. Now, this guy's 235 credits, which again is quite a lot of money if you're just hiring him for a single game. Of course, if you do have a bounty mechanic in your campaigns, such as we do, then this guy can pop up quite a bit. And he's pretty good. His stats are pretty good. Here are the stats. We've got a movement of 4, so he's not very fast. He probably should be movement 5 now, to be honest. His weapon skill 3+, which is better than average. Ballistic skill 4+, which is average. But his strength and toughness 4, which is fantastic. So he's got a nice high strength, nice high toughness, 2 wounds to boot, and initiative of 4 up. What lets him down here, though, is he's only got 1 attack for some reason. Not quite sure why. He should have more than that, if you ask me, but it is what it is, as they say. And then mental stats, we've got a leadership of 5+, which is fantastic, a cool of 6+, willpower 6+, intelligence of 6+. So really nice mental stats there across the board, way higher than average on all of it. He's even quite smart for a goat. So for the skills here, we've got Berserker, Bull Charge, and Fearsome. All good skills. Berserker is fantastic, gives you +1 attack on the charge. Bull Charge, +1 strength and knockback, meaning that you're going up to strength 5. With the chainsword, it's strength 6, so that's pretty nice, wounding most people on 2s and giving you knockback with that rending chainsword as well. Very, very nice indeed. Excuse the accent there. And fearsome as well, which means that he's, you've got to take a willpower check just to sort of fight him in close combat and stuff, which is nice. Weapons, he's got all the gear. He's got a shotgun with solid and scatter, a plasma pistol, a stub gun, a chainsword, and a knife with flak armor. So could have better armor, I suppose, like light carapace or something would have been nice, but pretty great. Chainswords are great, shotguns are great, plasma pistols are super great, and a knife for shits and giggles, stub gun for backup there as well. Really, really good. He's just a really solid character, no hassle, very easy to remember. So once you've played this guy in a game, you don't really even need to look up his stats or his stuff because it just becomes sort of second nature. Well, it has for me anyway. Like, this guy's very familiar for me. Used him in lots and lots of games before, and he's pretty fun. He's always very solid. He's annoying. He's not particularly, standout, but he's good. He's solid. That's the main thing, and it's just a lovely miniature to own as well. So you could totally use this guy as an outcast leader as well, and he makes a pretty good one. However, I do like to use the miniature as my Forge Tyrant in my Goliath gang as well. So there's an idea for you. Anyway, that's it for me on Gore Halfhorn. Peace out.